Hi, my name's Alan. This is Kiwi Trading. Named it Kiwi Trading because I spent a lot of time in New Zealand. I was actually born in Hartlepool and lived in New Zealand for about 30 years. And sort of my wife and I decided it's not happening in New Zealand, so we thought we'd give England a try. And on the Sunday, I went straight to a boot sale and I bought a few chairs. And it started from there, really. And I couldn't believe in England they were chucking out old furniture. And in New Zealand, you couldn't get old furniture. And here, they're chucking it away. If I had arrived in England with money, I would have started shipping furniture straight to New Zealand. But I think I had about £200 in my pocket, which wasn't going to get me very far. The wood was cut down from trees that were probably 1,000-year-old. So the timber was brilliant. I could show you some photographs of furniture that I used to get made with the timber off these houses. I used to give it to sell it to cabinet makers, and they would make furniture with it. That plot, they cut it down in about I think it was about three sections. The top half come off. It was cut down in about three parts, and they moved it to that plot there. But that's the sort of houses you would pull down. You would rip them down. You'd sell all the roofing iron, the bricks, the timber. The timber on this house wasn't great, but you would pull them down, and that's the sort of furniture that these guys were making with it. They were making that sort of furniture with it. That's old native New Zealand timbers. That looks like kauri, that, and that's what you call rimu. It's a light coloured timber. It's quite nice timber. But yeah. I sort of looked through the yellow pages in the phone book and found a carpet cleaning job, so I went out carpet cleaning for a little while. But my qualifications was engineering, so I got a job working in a wrought iron shop, and started doing a bit of manufacturing of gates and railings and furniture and stuff. So I did that for a while, but it was a lot of hard work for not a lot of money, so I kind of was looking at other things. And I've always been interested in old furniture and antiques and various things, so I sort of just kept buying bits and pieces of furniture and restoring them. There's boxes here, we'll fill them back up and put tools back in them. But yeah, it's just where we sort of, like, this furniture here, that was furniture, but it isn't now. There's bits of it left, but we'll use it on something else. Something else will come in, we will use it. But these are all sort of like 90 or 80% nearly finished. They just probably need the handles putting on them and probably a bit more sanding, and then wax them up, oil them up, make them look great, make them look good. I mean, that's in a right mess, but we'll turn that around. That'll look good when it's done. But it needs a bit of work. Sometimes you pick things up and you've got to be able to see past it, because some things do look like a pile of sawdust on the floor, but actually you can turn it around and turn it into something. But like I say, it's just projects for miles. You haven't seen sort of next door yet. It goes on and on. Yeah. Been bringing a lot of stuff up, and we've just been piling it up. Now we're trying to sort of get a little bit organised with it. Sort of having a painting area and a restoration part, and a junk area where we don't really know what to do with it yet, but we will do something with it. I mean, you can basically come into the shop and probably find something that you could make some money on. If you wanted to make some money, you could even come in here and pick something up and find something that there's enough in there for somebody. I will sell it. So I sell a lot to the trade. So even for someone who can paint something up or sand something down, there's opportunity there. I mean, I started by going to a boot sale, buying some chairs, restoring them, and taking them to an antique shop and selling them, make a small profit. David, the guy that owns the building, he was here selling cars, and
the building was full of cars when I got here. And basically there's no cars now in the building, it's full of furniture, and really it's the best move that we ever made, because cars are not a great seller, not a good investment. And with a car, it's sitting there, it's not doing anything, it's not going anywhere, but you go to get in it and the battery's flat, the tyres are down, and each month it's losing money. With a piece of furniture, we might have £100 on that piece of furniture, and in 6 months' time, it's still £100. It's not depreciating. So David's kind of gone from selling cars to selling furniture. I mean, for me, with people, if you're unemployed and you're having trouble getting a job, nobody will hire you. For me, if you can't get a job, create one. You know, try and, I mean, there's plenty, for me, there's loads of opportunity out there. I mean, I come from New Zealand where there's not many people and there's not much work. And if you're going for a job at McDonald's or something, there's probably about 100 people lining up for that same job. Whereas you come here and, you can go out window cleaning, you can go out cutting people's lawns, you can go delivering leaflets. There's plenty, there's lots of opportunity here.
I do think that there are absolutely two categories of people. There are people that don't want to work, and there are people that do. The ones that don't want to work, it doesn't matter what you do with them, they will not work. They will find an excuse not to work. But there are a lot of people that genuinely want jobs, and the jobs are not always available for them. So to look at creating their own businesses is certainly an option. I mean, this business for us, I was made redundant from my job at 59 years old. I'd worked for 40 years, never been out of work. So it was a culture shock for me, and I tried to get back into the business that I was used to, but I couldn't. And I think age had a part to play in that. But this venture gave me something to do, gave me an interest, gave me a reason to get up on a morning. And I think that's what people need. They need the motivation to say, I'm not going to lie in bed. I'm not going to just take benefits. I'm going to go out and try and do something. And there are opportunities, but there's got to be a willingness to, take up the challenge, as it were.
There's a guy came into the shop one day. He was, he was really desperate to try and sell something. I'm thinking, if he'd have said to me that the kids are hungry, there's no food, I'd have probably gone round and looked for something to buy off him, to give him some money. But it so happened that he wanted money to pay a payment on his plasma TV, and he's unemployed. And I thought to myself, the first thing I said to him was, go and clean some windows, mate, if you want to make some money, There are people, I think there's people here that just have got into this rut of getting money from the government and not really, they just don't want to get out of bed in the morning. And there's another guy I used to work with, I was telling him that I got a phone call for a flower delivery, and I had to drive to Blackhall for this flower delivery, and I was only getting a $5 for this flower delivery, and he said he wouldn't get out of bed in the morning for a $5. So he's never going to make any money in my eyes, For me, I got up to get that $5, and as soon as I'd gone and done the delivery, there was another delivery, so it starts.
We've got a website, but it's not a good website, and we're in the process of trying to change that and develop it. So mainly, apart from the fairs that Alan goes to, the other outlet is eBay, and we do sell quite a lot on eBay, and we've sold stuff to Hawaii, Australia, Canada, New York. Trying to think of the other Lithuania, I think. No, Estonia. We sold something there. So it is a little bit more specialised, and some things. The thing we sold We sold a radio, big pre-war radio that went to Sicily. So it does open up, obviously, as everybody knows, it opens up a much bigger marketplace for us.
I think if nothing's happening in the shop, it's great to have a few things happening online, isn't there? It's not my thing. I'm more customer, one-on-one with the customer. It's sort of kind of the internet selling is a totally different thing again. I wouldn't have the patience for it myself. Yeah, it's an easy way for people to buy, isn't it? They don't even need to go out the door. They can buy it online, which is great, isn't it? Really, when you think about it. For people, if they don't like going out shopping, if they don't like being hassled by salesmen, hard salesmen. You've got to have a little bit of skill in selling. Because if you had Alan out here during the day, you come back and you'd have sold nothing. Because he sort of hasn't really got that selling technique. Sometimes people, I don't know, I've always been used to being in situations where you got hundreds of people coming towards you and you need to get the money off them quickly as possible, because once they get to the end of your stand, they're on to the next one, so they're gone. So you've really got to kind of, but retail's much different to that. You've got to be a little bit more calmer, a little bit. You can't force people into buying something. When I go to a fair or somewhere where there's hundreds of people, as soon as you pick that up, I'm getting a bag out for you to put it in. You haven't decided whether you've bought it yet, but I'm getting a bag out to put it in for you. You know, you own it. But, yeah, I mean, your customer's the most important person. You've got to really make them feel good when they walk in the shop. You know, you've got to make them feel at ease as well. You can't do the hard sell thing on them. They'll just walk out and they won't like you. Well, we're not just an antique shop. We sell everything, and really for Hartlepool, that's the way it's got to be. If I set this up as just an antique shop, I'd be probably closed now. It's because we sell loads of various items. We sell you can buy obviously from a moose's head to a cooker, you know. Yeah, it is what it is. It's Hartlepool, man. It's a funny old town.